Okay, so get this right. Cities are like tossing history books aside and diving headfirst into virtual reality.
It's wild, isn't it? It's like, boom, welcome to the 21st century history lesson.
Totally. And this Delta project, it's like they took that idea and were like, hold my virtual beer.
No kidding. I mean, talk about ambition. They're going all in on this immersive experience thing.
Exactly. And that's what caught my eye. It's not just a VR exhibit stuck in a corner. They're weaving it into the actual fabric of downtown. What's the deal with that?
So the Downtown Delta Immersive Experience Project, they basically want to transform the whole downtown area into like a living, breathing museum.
Okay, ambitious, I like it. But how?
Well, they're taking all this cool tech, right? VR, 360 stuff, and they're going to use it to showcase Delta's history, their architecture, even their art scene.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's not just dates and dusty old buildings. They're talking about murals, art stuff that's actually captivating.
Exactly. They want to make it accessible to everyone, not just like history buffs or tech nerds.
Right on. Speaking of tech, though, they keep mentioning this immersive 360 VR experience. It's like the star of the show, right? What's the actual experience going to be like?
All right, picture this. You slap on some VR goggles, and they're aiming for like a range of tech here, from those high-end headsets to an experience you can have on your phone, which is really cool. And suddenly, bam, you're transported back in time.
No way.
Yeah, you're not just reading about Delta's past anymore. You're walking the streets. Imagine maybe even witnessing a historical event as it unfolds.
Whoa, that's next level. It's like you're not just seeing the past, you're like living it.
You got it. And to make that feeling even more real, they're planning a dedicated sphere or dome structure. It's like, think of those planetarium things, but for, history and art.
Oh, I get it. Like a giant immersive time machine. That's so much cooler than just staring at a screen.
Right. And that's what sets this apart from those pop-up art exhibits. This is intended to be permanent,
Yeah.
Deeply intertwined with Delta's identity.
It's like they're making history a part of the city's present. I dig it. But, okay, let's talk about the people who actually live in Delta, not just us tourists. How does this benefit them?
So think about it, this revitalization aspect. What happens when you have this incredibly unique attraction drawing people to downtown?
Well, things get a whole lot more lively, that's for sure.
Exactly. More people downtown means more business for local shops and restaurants, right?
Right. And for the residents themselves, what better way to connect with your city's history than by basically living through it in VR? Talk about feeling a sense of place.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And think about the educational opportunities. Local students learning about history and art like this. Forget boring textbooks. That's how you bring the past to life.
Seriously. Now, I did notice they mentioned showcasing Delta's murals and architecture alongside the history stuff. Are they going to make sure all of that is accurate in these VR experiences? I mean, we don't want any historical bloopers, right?
Oh yeah, they address that. The project plans specifically talk about working directly with historians and local experts to get everything right. Authenticity is key.
Good. Accuracy matters. Speaking of important details, any word on the timeline for all this? And what about potential hurdles? Like, funding for something this big has to be intense.
Sadly, the documents didn't give a firm timeline, but come on, projects this big, they take time. Getting the money together, figuring out the logistics of building downtown, that's going to be their biggest hurdle for sure.
For sure, those are some big to-dos to check off the list. This whole thing really does feel like a glimpse into the future of how we experience our cities.
Absolutely. It's a testament to how technology can connect the past and present in a way that's engaging and, gets people excited about history and culture.
Totally. It's going to be super interesting to see it all come together. All right, listeners, if you're as into this as we are, and come on, who isn't intrigued by a giant VR time machine? Stay tuned for updates on the Downtown Delta Immersive Experience Project. It's going to be epic.